Good morning. We are extremely pleased that you are here. It is good to come together for the purpose of co-creating. Do you agree?
Yes.
You are knowing what you are wanting?
Yes.
An ever-changing thing?
Yes.
You are enjoying the evolution of your desire? Those fresh desires giving you life? Those unfulfilled desires giving you life? When you understand that, you understand everything. When the unfulfilled desire still feels fresh, then there is no place that you cannot go. But if the unfulfilled desire is torturing you, that feeling of discord is your evidence of resistance, which is holding you from your fullest connection and will mute the well-being potential that is there for you. So as we talk about the art of allowing, what we are really talking about is feeling the freshness of a desire without feeling the discord of it not yet being manifest, feeling the life-giving properties of the desire, feeling the exhilaration of the energy focusing through you. But before you can really do that and feel that in a confident, secure way, you must first come to recognize that your unfulfilled desire, there is no question of whether it will happen or not, because it must. So the if is not in question. When is in question, which is what makes you think if is in question. Because there have been some things that you've wanted for a while that have not come about quickly enough for you or easily enough for you. And then you say, I'm not sure they will ever come. And we say, it is certain that they will come. And if you can no longer worry about if they will come, and even stop worrying about when they will come, and start focusing upon your knowledge that they will come, and then you spend your time feeling the exhilaration of your expanded clarity about your desire. So when you think about what you want and then you think about it not being there, you've cluttered your vibration. But when you think about what you want, you clear it up. Or when you think about it not coming, you clear it up also. But you clear it up not in the direction of allowing it to come. So as you begin to feel that you are focusers of energy and that everything that manifests in response to the focus that you are achieving, then you begin thinking things like, I am the creator of my own reality, and my thoughts do turn into things. You begin thinking thoughts like, I would like to be more clear-minded. I want to have more mind control. I want to speak more of what I do want and speak less of what I don't want. And those are all very good tools. In other words, when you become aware that you are the creator of your own reality and that you create through your focus or attention, then you become someone who wants to be more deliberate about where you give your attention. And then sometimes you begin on your eternal evolution of understanding your creative skills. Then sometimes you begin to worry about your own thoughts because you are aware that there are things that are in your world that you might turn your attention to, but in turning your attention to them, you are not turning your attention to what you want. And then we see some of you actually becoming fearful of your own thought because you know you're giving your attention to things not wanted, but how can you not when you live in this world, when you have a television and a newspaper and children who come home with tales of what's happening in the world? In other words, you discover that you are not wanting to isolate yourself into this comfortable little feathered nest where there are only things that please you. And then you say, I have some trouble because I want to be the deliberate creator of my own reality, and I want to turn my attention only to things that I want, but I would have to be a hermit. I would have to put my head in the sand. How do I protect myself from all of this stuff that's going on that I am not wanting to participate in vibrationally, and I'm certainly not wanting to manifest? And we say, you do not need to worry about being contaminated with thoughts that are out there. Your casual noticing of something is not going to set up a vibrational point of attraction that's going to bring it quickly to you. You have enormous leeway in your molding of the energy into your life experience. And then we begin speaking to you about what we are liking to call this gathering, which is the art of allowing. And the premise of the art of allowing is a different premise than many of you have interpreted when you think about deliberate creation and creating my own reality and turning my thoughts to things and giving attention to what I want and setting goals and thinking about what I'm wanting. Because the art of allowing has at its basis an understanding that well-being is your natural environment. It's your natural legacy. It is your natural inheritance. It is your natural promised future. Well-being is the only source that flows. There is a stream of well-being, and you are extensions of it. And in this moment, which is where all of your focus and all of your power is, you are either allowing that stream of well-being to flow through you toward your creative ends, or you are diminishing it in some way. You can never pinch it off completely, but you can allow the connection or you can resist the connection. You can allow clarity or resist it. You can allow wellness or resist it. You can allow abundance or resist it. You can allow things that you want or resist it or not allow it. But there is not a source of sickness. Sickness is not something that asserts itself. It's not even something that you stumble upon and embrace and bring into your experience. Sickness is the disallowance of what really is natural. Just like poverty is the resistance of what really is natural. Just like confusion is the resistance of what really is natural. So when you try a little bit to embrace the premise that well-being is yours unless you are doing something that is not allowing it, then you begin to understand that you do not need to be fearful of your thoughts. Instead, you be aware of the way you feel, which helps you to then choose thoughts that are more allowing in nature. So, that brings us to remind you about this magnificent guidance system that you have within you. It is your emotional base, which literally lets you know how much allowing of who you are or resisting of who you are doing in any moment. You have a gas gauge on your automobile that shows when your tank is full or when it's half full or when it's empty. And we don't see you as the gauge is approaching empty, feeling so frustrated with your gauge that you take a hammer and beat it right out of the dash. You don't say, "You stupid gauge. You are showing me that the tank is empty when you know very well I want it to be full." Instead, you understand that it is an indicator and you do something about it. And your emotions are a similar gauge. Your emotions let you know how in alignment with who you are in the moment, or how disallowing of who you are being, but it is only a gauge. And our point is that if you should find your gauge pointing toward negative emotion, don't be mad at yourself about the indicator. Instead, appreciate the gauge and then do something about it. Now, what we've noticed with many of you is that when you find your gauge pointing at something that is a strong negative emotion, indicator of your, in this moment, disallowance of your full connection with who you are, and you feel that strong negative emotion, we want to help you to understand what that strong negative emotion is. You see, you know at deep levels, and you are at your source energy level, pure positive energy. And the emotion that you feel most powerfully, the emotion that is most naturally you, is this sensation of empowerment. It's a sensation of utter freedom. It's a sensation of absolute self-adoration. It's an understanding that you as self are you as source. In other words, it is adoration of self. It is adoration of all that is. It is understanding of the basis of freedom that is yours, and it is absolute empowerment. That's who you are. We're going to have great fun together today. So, we are eager to talk with you about anything that is important to you. You'll discover a fabulous unfolding here. Everything in order. First, second row, yes.
Yes, and I know you'll know where this is coming from. Is there a judgment day?
There is, and it happens in every moment, and you are the judge.
Thank you. Thank you.
So
I get that.
So you say, I get to decide my degree of punishment, and I get to apply it now. The only hell that exists is that space between who you really are and what you're allowing to be.
Thank you.
This is good news.
That's the real good. I do have one other. I know in your words you always talk about that we've always been alive. There's no such thing as death. I usually interpret that as a future concept. But it also implies that I've always been alive. And why do I not have any memory of these billions and billions of years?
Well, you know how in the same way that you cannot really get your thoughts around your future, you cannot really get your thoughts around your true past either, because your power is all here in the now. It's a little distorted in your physical environment because you stand in your now and you can remember when your father was beating you and when the nuns were beating you. You can remember different things from this life experience, and so you say, I can remember past. And then you say, and I can anticipate future. And we say, well, you can remember past and you can anticipate future, but you're doing it all from the now. So now think about yourself in a now, but in a non-physical now. So think about your inner being in your inner being's now. Now, your inner being does not have the limitations of resistance. And so when your inner being anticipates future without automatically applying past failures, future is clearer and purer and more realized in the now. And so from the non-physical perspective, you have a broader range of your sense of knowing because you don't automatically introduce so much resistance to the thought as you try to compare one thing to the other. Let us be clearer about that. We want to do a little bit of a sales job to help you to feel the potency and the power of this juncture where you meet you. And we want you to feel the exhilaration that your inner being feels when your inner being is aware of where you are and what's around you and what you want. Each moment that a preference is born, which is in every moment, those preferences are preceding you in a sort of pre-paving manner. And source energy, all that is, God force, your inner being, all the fairies of the universe, whatever label you're wanting to apply to it, see your rocket of preference rise and flow, and all of that energy gets focused toward the creating of that which you're wanting, because in the moment that an idea occurs to you, source energy begins flooding energy toward it. So consciousness, even the consciousness that is your own inner being, begins to anticipate the fulfillment of that desire. And your inner being is so non-resistant that in the anticipation of what you are calling a future fulfillment, your inner being experiences a now fulfillment. You get that?
Yes,
That's really big.
Yeah.
So your inner being is literally living your future dreams, working the kinks out of them, feeling the exhilaration of them. That's what that feeling of inspiration is that you get. It's that feeling of source energy calling you toward your own creations, you see. And so that's why when you are following a hunch or following an impulse, it feels so tangible and so irresistible because the energy is so powerfully calling you. And we want to note the stark difference between that kind of inspiration, which is you being called to something that you've already created, and motivation, which is you trying to push away from something that you don't want to create. Very good.
Thank you.
Yes, indeed.